Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone had an enjoyable Pesach. Okay, this week we're going to do Parshas Acharei. So the Parsha starts like this. V'daber Shem el Moshe Acharei Moshe Shnei bnei Aaron, after the two sons of Aaron died, Nadav and Avihu died, Karvosam v'nei Hashem v'yomusu, v'yomer Hashem el Moshe, daber el Aaron achicha, v'yovei b'chol eis al Kodesh Kadashim. He shouldn't go into the Kodesh Kadashim, v'lo yamus, and he won't die. So there's 2 points I want to raise here in Rashi. First of all, Rashi says, why does it mention Acharei Moshe Shnei bnei Aaron? So Rashi says, Hayra Blossom ben Azariah Moshe le Mashal. Blossom ben Azariah gave a mashal. Chaylish nichlas etzereifa, a patient, a sick person, and the doctor came in, and he told him, Al toichel tzoynon, don't eat radishes. Vel tishkav b'tachav, and you shouldn't go lie in dank places where it's wet and cold. But Acher, a different doctor or a different person came and he told him, Al toichel tzoynon, don't eat radishes. Vel tishkav b'tachav, don't lie in dank places. Shloi tomus k'derech shemeis pliny. You shouldn't die just like the other person died. This other person who was sick and he ate radishes and he slept in dank places, he died. So you shouldn't do this so you won't die. The second one did a better job than the first one. The first one told him you shouldn't do it. The second one told him, don't do this, because if you do this, you're going to die like the other person died. That's why the Kachnema Acharei Moshe Shnei bnei Aaron. V'yomer Hashem el Moshe daber el Aaron v'yovei shlo yamus k'derech shemeis banav. He mentions that this happened after Nadav and Avihu died, and he's telling him, don't do it because you shouldn't die like your sons died. So the question is, immediately, back in Parshas Shmini, why did they die? So Rashi says, "V'teitze eish v'fnei Hashem v'toichel oisem v'yamusu." That they brought. First of all, it says they brought an eish zora asher leitziva oisem, and so right away we know a reason why they died, and it says v'teitze eish v'toichel oisem v'yamusu. So Rashi brings. Rabbi Yaakov Yosef Reinman Meisu b'nei Aaron al ela al yedei shehoira halacha fnei Moshe Rabban. They were moira halacha fnei Rabban. That's why they died. That's one shot. Rabbi Shmuel Omer shasu yayin nechas l'mikdash. They went in shasu yayin. So there's many questions here. First of all, shasu yayin wasn't the Isser yet. Rabbi Hashem get this of shasu yayin later. And why is there chiv misa v'hara halacha fnei Rabbam? And why are they giving these reasons when the pasuk says? I mean, the Mepharshim go through all these things, and what is it says? V'yakrivu eish zora shleitziva oisam, and so it says that's why they died. Malkul Panim, they did something wrong. Either they brought the eish zora, or they were meir halacha fnei Rabban, or they were suyayin. So that's why they died. So what does this have to do with Aaron? Aaron is not doing any of these things. Moshe is saying, don't go in, don't come anytime you want into the Kodesh Kadashim, so you won't die just like Nadav and Avihu died. Nadav and Avihu died not because they went into the Kodesh Kadashim. They died because they did something wrong. So what's the tushtal? That's one question. Another question, Rashi says, look at this, V'yamus, you won't die. Shim ba hu meis. If he's going to go into the Kodesh Kadashim, he will die. So V'yamus says, Shim ba, if he goes in, he will die. Now the V'yamus says again later, in Pasuk Yud Gimel, V'nos naktaris ala eish fnei Hashem. He should put when he goes into the Kodesh Kadashim, he should do the Ketores. V'lo yamus. V'lo yamus. Look Rashi. If he did it wrong, chayiv misa. So over here, he doesn't say that if he does it, hu meis. Here he says he's chayiv misa. So at the beginning he says b'chol yavai, b'chol eisal hakodesh, v'lo yamus. Rashi teaches v'lo yamus, that if he comes he will die. Not that he's chayiv misa, he will die. And later when he does his shloika tikuna, he brings in the ketores. Shloika tikuna, v'lo yamus. Rashi says if he does it, he's chayiv misa. Doesn't say he's going to die. He's chayiv misa. So what's the difference between these two things? So I'd like to explain, first of all, with Nadav Avihu. Nadav Avihu, Moshe Rabbeinu told Aaron that I thought B'kroiva HaKadosh that they are so great, they're greater than us. It's a Kiddush Hashem. They made a Kiddush Hashem. I thought the Kiddush Hashem would be made with us, and it was made with them. So if they died because they did these things, what's the Kiddush Hashem? So I think Pshat is like this. A person is a hybrid of a guf and a neshama. The Ramah says right in the beginning, he says that umafli lasas, roifik basar mafli lasas, the Baruch Shalom does something wonderful. What is the wonderful thing that he does? He takes the neshama and the guf and he puts them together. They become one. Neshama is ruchnius, the guf is gashmius. They really have no connection to each other. And somehow the Rebbeinu Shalom takes the neshama and the guf and he binds them together, which is half mafli lasas. This is what the person is, neshama and the guf. But when a person comes to a situation of tremendous kedusha, then the neshama is nismale from the kedusha, and it cannot coexist with the guf anymore. It can't live together with the guf. We find by Har Sinai, when Klal Yisrael stood by Har Sinai and they were listening to the Rabbeinu Shalom, it was so much kedusha that it's parcha nishmasam. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't do it. The neshama was ripped away from their guf. The neshama, when it reaches such a high level of kedusha, cannot still be connected to the guf. It's parcha nishmasam. So the same thing over here was the Beis HaMikdash. Beis HaMikdash was the makom of the Shechina, but the Kodesh Kadashim was something else. Kodesh Kadashim was Shara Shemayim. It was part of the Olam Elyon, right here in the middle of this world. There was a certain place, the whole Beis HaMikdash was Kodesh, but the Kodesh Kadashim was Mamish the Olam Elyon, and there was so much Kedusha in the Kodesh Kadashim that if you go into the Kodesh Kadashim, then the neshama would not be able to stay together with the body, because it would absorb all of this kedusha, and that when the neshama reaches such a high state, it gets ripped apart from the guf. However, if the person has a mitzvah, he has something that he's mitzvah to do, that mitzvah protects him and keeps the neshama connected to the body. So you're coming in for a purpose. If you come in without a purpose, then there's nothing to hold the neshama and the guf together. You come in, it's tremendous kedusha, and the neshama is torn apart from the guf. That's what happened with Nadav Avihu, and that was the Kiddush Hashem. It's to show people that the Kodesh Kadashim is mamish l'shara shemayim, and it's mamish a chelik of the Olam Elyon, which is right here in the Olam Hazeh, and this would be a tremendous Kiddush Hashem for Klal Yisrael. They'll see mamish that the Rebbeinu Shalom is here. Not only he comes into this world, but he brings the Olam Elyon also into this world, and that's where Rebbeinu Shalom is, and a person cannot survive there. But neshama and the guf, the chibur of neshama and the guf, cannot survive that. So the problem was, why did Nadav Avihu go in? Why did they go in? They weren't called to go in. Why did they go in? So they made a number of mistakes. What mistakes did they make? They were shasu yayin. the Shasu Yayin, so that affected their judgment. They went into the Beis Mikdash. The Shasu Yayin, they went into the Kodesh Kadashim without being called. Or they were Merlach of the Rabbam, so that's why they did it. They went into there. They thought they should bring an Eish. They weren't told to bring an Eish. They thought they should bring an Eish, just like it's a mitzvah to bring an Eish in at Mizbeach. They thought there's a mitzvah, so they made a number of mistakes. What led them to make these mistakes? Certain pagam that they did. There are certain things like the Shasiyai. It was not an Avera to go with Shasiyai, not yet, but still, to go with Shasiyai was a pagam. And that pagam led them to make a mistake and to go into the Kodesh Kadashim. The reason why they died was not because they shasayayit. The reason why they died because the neshama cannot maintain its chibur with the guf in a place of so much kedusha. The only way that it can maintain that chibur is if you have a mitzvah to go in there. So that mitzvah keeps the chibur intact and does not allow it to break. Otherwise, it would be parcha, it would break. And that's how they died. So this is what he's saying over here. He told them that you should learn from Nadav Avihu. Nadav Avihu, forget about what they did, but Lamaisa, they went in there, and there's parcha nishmasam, because it's too much kedusha. So you should know, V'layava b'chaleis don't do whatever you want. You can't just go in there, because if you go in there, you're not going to survive. You see from the view, you will die. You will die. It's not an einish. He's saying who mace. If you're going to go in without being called, then you're going to die because you can't survive so much kedusha. The neshama and the guf cannot maintain the chibur if there's so much kedusha. However, later it says that if that on Yom Kippur you're mechuyev to bring in the Ketores. So if you did it, you didn't do ketikuna. So Mr. Chacham says that there's chisar achas mikol samanel. You didn't do the Ketores properly. So then is chiyav misa. Because even though you did it improperly, but l'maisa you're mitzvah to go in. So you did it wrong, you have to do it again, do it right. But right now you are mitzvah to go in. So if you're mitzvah to go in, you're not going to die. It's not going to happen. The mitzvah that you have, avodas Yom Kippurim, to go in, will maintain the chibur and will not allow you to die. However, if you go in and you do the ketores shaloi ketikuna v'lo yamos, then you have a chiyuv misa. That's a different thing. Now you're chayiv misa. So in the beginning, if you come in stam any time b'chaleis just because without being called you go into the Kodesh Kadashim, then v'lo yamos in bahu meis dies automatically. It happens memela. However, if you are supposed to go in and you do it wrong, then you have a chiyuv misa. Okay. Okay, so weiter it says like this. Ksonius bad yilbash, michnas bad yilbash. Rashi says that in avodas pnim of Yom Kippurim, Magid, he tells you, she'eina mishamish ofnim b'shmoyne begodim, shu mishamish ben b'chutz. He doesn't use every time the Kohein Gadol at Shmoyne begodim the big days of. And Yom Kippur he wore big day lovan. It was like a Kohen Hedyot, not like a Hedyot. The Havik was different, but he didn't wear big days of. Why? Lefi she'en kateger nasa saneger. Ela b'Kohen Hedyot. Because en kateger nasa saneger. Because the gold reminds you of the egel. So en kateger nasa saneger, so mele, you have to wear white. So the Mefarshim ask that what's for the whole year? Why does the Kohen Gadol wear big days of all year? En kateger nasa saneger. You come in, you're going into the Beis Mikdash, doing the avodah, and being masker the egel, and kateger nasa saneger. How can he wear it the whole year? So I just want to make a suggestion. Okay, beginning of Pekudei, Ele Pekudei Mishkan Eidus. So Rashi says Mishkan Eidus li Yisrael Shavitla Mekadosh Baruch Hu Masa Egel So this is known that the Mishkan is mechaper on the chet of the egel. So now the beginning of the beginning of Shmini says like this: Kach lecha egel ben boker lachatas, v'ayel la'oila. He told me to bring egel. So Rashi says, Lo hidia shemechaper lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu al yedei egel zeh al masa egel. So I ain't kateged nasa neger. So the Maral says that ain't kateged nasa neger is only when you're using the kateger for something. If you're coming to be mechaper on the chet of the egel, then it's proper to bring an egel. Then there's no kateger nasa neger. You're talking about the egel. You want to be mechaper on the egel, so you bring an egel, show you being mechaper on the egel, and that is no kateger nasa neger. But if you are, if you're using, let's say, an egel for something else, which is not to be mechaper on the chet egel, then you have a problem with kateger nasa neger. So according to this, so you say like the same thing over here with Big Day Zav. The Mishkan is mechaper on the chet egel. So the whole Mishkan, the whole Seder Avodah in the Mishkan, is to be mechaper on the chet egel. So therefore, on the contrary, it's proper to be masker the egel, because you're coming to be mechaper on the egel. So you wear Big Day Zav and you masker the egel, and you're showing that being mechaper on the egel. There's no kateger nasa neger on that. It's the right thing. Just like you bring an egel over there, being mechaper the egel, bring an egel. You being mechaper on the Mishkan, mechaper the egel. So you wear Big Day Zav to be masker the egel and to show that the Mishkan is mechaper on the egel. However, the avodas fnim of Yom Kippurim, like we were saying, the Kodesh Kadashim is not really part of the Mishkan. Like we were saying before, the Kodesh Kadashim is Shara Shamayim. It's part of the Olam Elyon. It's not really part of the Mishkan. When you walk into the Kodesh Kadashim, that is, you're in the Olam Elyon. You're somewhere else. That Olam Elyon, that piece of Olam Elyon is not mechaper on the egel. The Mishkan is mechaper on the egel. The Kodesh Kadashim is lemal of the Mishkan, lemal of the Olam Hazeh. It's a different thing. It's a place which is mamish Shara Shemayim, and over there is mamish the highest mashpos of the Shekhinah are there, and that is not mechaper on the egel. And that's not the part that's mechaper on the egel. So if you go in there, then if you wear the Big Day Zav, which is not coming over there, that part is not mechaper the egel. So you can't wear the Big Day Zav, because then you're coming in to do something else, do avodas pnim, which has nothing to do with the egel, and you're wearing Big Day Zav, which is masket the egel, that you can't do. And kateger nasa neger. Okay, I'd like to conclude with one thing. It's a small thought. It says, the Kohen who succeeds his father, the Kohein Gadol, and his successor. Rashi says, Lalamed, if the son of a Kohein Gadol is roy to be memala the makam of the Kohein Gadol, who koydum l'chol adam. He has precedence over any other person. That means that even if you have another person who is more qualified than the son of the Kohein Gadol, but the son of the Kohein Gadol, if he's roy, if he has the proper qualifications, then he takes precedence over everybody else. So I just want to explain why this is so. So I'm thinking that a person, when he's Oilel Gedula, he comes to a high office, which is completely radical different from his own life. You don't know how he's going to be able to handle it. You don't know what he's going to do. Is the power going to go to his head? Is he going to become corrupt? Is he going to lose his madregas? What's a person going to do when he comes to such a high madrega? We don't know. We don't know what a person is going to do. It's a high risk. A person, in order to be able to be successful in such a high office, that depends on two things. It depends on his character, his nature, his tchunas, and it also depends on his training, his upbringing. The son of the Kohein Gadol, we can assume, a good Kohein Gadol, not one of those later ones, a really good Kohein Gadol who did his work properly, with Shem Shemayim, with Hachna, and who was batless, a good Kohein Gadol. So we would assume that the son of a Kohein Gadol has the same tchunas as the Kohein Gadol. For Akar Davua, we can assume that he has the same tchunas. We can also assume that the son of the Kohein Gadol, growing up in the house of the Kohein Gadol, growing up under the tutelage of his father, was properly trained so that when he comes to that office, he will be able to handle it. If you take another person who is not the son of the Kohein Gadol, we don't know what's going to happen to him when he becomes a Kohein Gadol. Better to take a person who is not such a ma'ir talmid chacham, or who knows what, but a little bit less of a talmid chacham, or a little bit less of a star. But at least you know that when he's become Kohein Gadol, he's going to do it properly. Somebody else, it's always a high risk. Thank you very much. See you again next week.